Welcome everyone. It's 6:01 on the clock. 6 of the Lovers, 1 of the Magician. And I have a Metatron read for you. I have a message of the day and the twin flame read that's on the table in front of you today. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you all for being here. And go ahead and take a few more deep breaths as I get going here. And we're going to roll the die first. Today is we just have the full moon yesterday as well. And today's the 17th. The 17 is the star, and the day adds up to 25/7, which is the Knight of Wands. So healing, dreaming, getting busy and passionate about something with the full moon as we now pass. We're still in that full moon energy, but passing it. So on the waning side towards the new moon. So it's kind of like usually a kind of a cleanup period, a grounding and integrating period. So for the twin flames, we have the Venus energy, Leo energy. So Venus is Libra and Taurus. Leo, of course, is the sun. And then the 10 of, which is very significant, which is October. That came up in the read today. And the 1-0 of the high vibration. The 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, which for me is Libra energy. And so we have Libra in Venus and this dice, and October is also Scorpio, and then Leo and Taurus also coming up here. So 3 fixed signs with Scorpio and Leo and Taurus, and then Libra, which is cardinal. So it looks like there's some stubbornness here for sure with 3 fixed signs going on. So let's see what else comes up here as I go on. I'm going to show you the first read, which is my Metatron read. Okay, so this is the underlying energy, the bottom of the deck, and these were under. I go 3 cards down, so the underlying energy here. And then I start here and go across into these cards, 1, 2, 3 actually, and then these cards here, and then these were extra today. They've been making me pull a lot of cards this week for some reason, so it was very interesting again today. So here we go. So with the 17 today and the 25 and the full moon going on right now, it was at I'm on the East Coast, and it was 11:56 yesterday, right before noon. And as soon as I was waking up this morning, I was hearing the song Blue Moon. And so I went back to see who was the original Blue Moon, and it was a whole big long story, because who people think wrote Blue Moon aren't the people who really wrote Blue Moon. It's actually a person. So I first went in and found the Marcells in 1959, which were from Pittsburgh, PA. And one of the singers was Cornelius Harp, which I only wrote down because Harp came up significantly yesterday. And then right at 11:17 again, today's the 17th, at 11:17 a bird hit my front window. 11 is alignment, justice, truth and balance, and of course 17 the star of healing and dreams coming true. So the bird hit pretty hard, so I went out to check to see if the bird was okay. And there were like tons of birds outside today, kind of like, you know, before a storm, where they're kind of like all going in all different directions. So I knew that the bird had hit, but there was a lot of birds like just flying around. You know, normally if I came out, they'd all fly away. And they did, but then they flew back across the other way, across where I was. And it's 6:06 on the clock right now. And I looked down in the area where the bird hit, and I didn't see a bird there. But I kept seeing the birds flying in different directions. So I followed where the birds were between me and my neighbor's house. And on that side of the house, I saw a bird who wasn't flying. So I sat there and did my healing with them for just a few minutes. At first, they were just kind of walking around, and I loved seeing that. And it wasn't just one species of bird. There were other birds watching out for this hurt bird. There was a whole bunch of them like swarming around this bird to make sure they were okay. So I did my healing thing with the bird for a few minutes. And first the bird was just kind of walking in circles, not sure what they would do. But after I was talking to the bird for those few minutes, the bird stopped and just looked at me until I finished, and then they flew away. So it was a really beautiful day, and I just loved seeing all the birds watching out for this little bird, because it was a robin, I believe, that I was talking to. But there were some woodpeckers out there too, and they were all swarming around to make sure that nobody hurt this bird. So cool. So blue moon. Again, the words for blue moon came up. Blue moon, because I was hearing that when I woke up this morning. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. You knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for, and then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me, and when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, and Spirit's connecting with me. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. So, and this goes on more about the writer of Blue Moon, but I went into the Metatron Read, and that was at 11:33, which is Justice in the 33 of the Christ vibration, Unity Consciousness. And the underlying energy card was Archangel Sandalphon, who I refer to as Saint Dolphin, and that's number 22 of the Fool's Journey. The first card out was Detached 37, which is the King of Cups, and the colors that came up were indigo, pink, lilac, and blue. And then I'd underlined bird too, so bluebird was just coming up here. So maybe we'll be seeing a bluebird real soon. That would be a nice touch of spring. And we have blue and indigo here, so there's a lot of strong blues into lilacs here. So, right, throat chakra up to third eye and the crown. And then pink for compassion. And as far as elements, we have water. And that was the only element in the read today. So, ancestors rushing in energetic exchange, or the arrows of love, with appreciation and healing to indigo in the past. And it's funny because the picture in the card is a child on their knees, which is my position as I was healing this bird. And there's the bird picture came in later in the read. So feeling whole and complete, connecting with star family and Archangel Sandalphon, or Saint Dolphin, Lyran, and musical harp. The Blue Moon, written by, which came up originally as Richard Rogers and Lorenz Hart, which weren't the actual original writers, was composed in 1931 by a 17-year-old, the son of Polish immigrants, after an evening of moonlit skating on the pond in upstate New York, in Troy, the east bank of the Hudson. His name was Edward W. Roman, and the article is written by his daughter here. So Chris helped him as far as the legal stuff after he had met her mother, she said, and insisted that he sue them for using his song. And Rogers offered him $1,200, which back then was a lot of money. It's not as much money as they were making, but it was a lot of money back then. First, it was the melody of Blue Moon, "Oh Lord, Make Me a Movie Star." It was never used or recorded, as MGM song number 225, dated on June 14th, which that date keeps coming up, 1933, was registered for copyright as unpublished work on July 10th, 33. Hart wrote new lyrics for the studio in 1934, It's Just That Kind of Play, and that was also cut from the film and registered as unpublished work on March 30th, 34. Rogers still liked the melody, so Hart wrote a third set of lyrics, The Bad in Every Man, it was sung by Shirley Ross in a movie and released as sheet music, but it wasn't a hit. So Jack Robbins stepped in, the MGM music publisher, and asked for a less depressing lyric. The fourth rendition is Blue Moon. Robbins wanted something more light, like In June and Moon and Spoon and all that, but the lyrics weren't actually written by Hart, nor was the melody by Rogers. Uncle Chris had said all they had changed in the song was the quarter notes 2 eighth notes, which I love because I'm always talking about the eighth dance between the twins, and that was the only changes made in the song. Her father, who wrote the song, was born January 1st, 1914, and there was a picture there of 1937, a picture of him next to his DeSoto car, the year he put Blue Moon behind him. When he was young, he would race or skate on the Burden Pond, it was called, and he still had the skates there, as she's talking about it in the article, hanging from the archway in the house. The moon reflected blue on the ice as he skated. So, of course, the song was sang by many people. Ella to Elvis, Mel Torme in the 40s was the first time it charted. Frank and Dean and Billie Holiday, Joe Stafford, Nat King Cole, Rosemary Clooney, Tony Bennett. But Elvis, she didn't like because he took out the bridge about the gold. So getting back to the read, at 12:18, which is the hanging man and the moon, talking about the blue moon, the King of Cups, sitting in the grass, is being called to detach from drama and look up. The Page of Wands inspired to self-love and nurture. The right angle where 1/4 of the roads lead home. And the shell here is in the womb. Conquering fears on the 17th, which is today, start today, and the card's number was 17, with help from your angels and angles, or seeing new perspectives. Water then came up, which I hadn't drank my water yet because I do my juice and my decaf in the morning. So I was called to start drinking my water, and again, it was coming up as the vehicle of emotional well-being, reminding us of dolphins and Lemuria, or Mu, the mountains and rivers, and the Holy Grail, which was coming up as the basin, the watersheds, or the catchment. That we are the watersheds, holding and shedding water all the time, catching the rain and distributing it in a very slow and even way at 12:29, the hanging man and the 3 of Wands being present in the moment, or that we are a gift to the earth in that way. So the water eventually comes back home. And of course, humans put out water in all different ways, in sweating and peeing and in crying, okay? So the 90-degree right angle, or the 1/4 of the world, speeding up to the 8th note as we raise in vibration. So the 25% going to the 12.5, a quarter is going to the 8th, which is half of that. It's actually speeding up, but 1/8 is smaller than 1/4. Okay, so it's the 1.25 rather, or the 12.5%, which is half of 25%. Or the 8th note, again, talking about it being a faster vibration, or that trill. The water is coming up with this number 7 on the card, and the 7 also can reference the right angle. And the icosahedron comes up on the water card as well, which we already established that icosa means I matter, and hedron comes up as a footprint, but also hedra, which hedron is ivy, or that which clings to, it grasps on like a vine. So ivy comes up to seize, to grasp, to take, and to honor, and October all came up as definitions of hedra. So I matter, to honor the ivy, which also can reference the ivy flow of the vine, which is divine. October, which is 8 again, and Ober, or Burr, the 8 giant, the head waiter or waiter, the one who waits, to do and to make, or takes their time before deciding to do something. The constant flow of divine, to grasp. October, the 8 giant waiters, to do or to make. The arrows, bows, and arcs, or European whip snake, to bear, carry, one. The foxtail millet, or grain, also came up here. The berry, and to see, or to just be. A litter that carries dead people. Bare, naked, uncovered, and discovered. Right? Somebody didn't cover something properly, so it got out. A cradle of a ship is also called this. Right? The cradle of the ship prior to launch. Who, and then the jujube tree, which comes up as so funny because it's like the Jesus and Mary Magdalene jujube tree. Or in other words, the finding before it is found. And that was my perspective. the finding before it's been found. Also, octal comes up as the number system using 8 digits, but it's not the number 8. It's using digits 0 through 7, which actually add up to 28, or the twins in the Crazy 8 dance. If electric gets past half, I was also getting here, the magnetic then draws it home, feeling its presence. So it just has to get past halfway, or just to the airing of the light, and then the magnetics pull it the rest of the way home. Very interesting the way that came up. So October was coming up also about the dance of the two, the finding it before it is found, the finding right before it is found, or in other words, having faith, like taking that leap of faith before you know what the result will be. The finding before it is found, the anticipation that something is near, and taking that leap of faith before knowing the outcome. Number 10 is that high vibration turn for the better, when dancing giants arc, or in other words, connect from point to point. Also, October is just past the halfway point of the astrological chart, when the arc takes hold of divine. So it was really cool message that came up right there. So at 12:59, just the 11th hour before 1, the indigo in a watershed moment. 8 plus 8 equals 16, which is the tower, and adding that other third 8, which then knocks the crazy 8s into the infinity symbol as they come into union. The triple 8s bring up the 24, which is the omega, which is Om and kind of ego with connections. And it's all Greek to me. And then to me is tomb, T-O-M-E, which means section or separate. To empty, hollow, or free time or leisure. Tame, guest, receive, conquer, scroll. To take, drink, have, or steal. And then 21 was coming up on the card, plus 7 of water, which equals 28 again. So again, the twin flames coming up as whole, and in the chariot, the vehicle of ascension and infiltration. The star indigo and the water dolphin equaling the plasma ethers. So one is a crystal that matters. So that's on the card with the icosahedron, which is the water card. And then the karma card comes up. It's not called karma though. It's the number 20 card, which is the judgment card, which is karma in this SIRIAN STARSEED deck. But it comes up as the cosmic card of the crystal out in space. So one here is a crystal that matters or sows divine of honor and October to seize the day. And then I always got October 8th was always a special day for me for some reason, but I don't know why. It becomes more than it is alone, weaving the crystal into matter that grasps like the ivy to honor October, the giant one that waits for arc, which is the connection between 2 points. Is also the 8 and the 1, the 81, which I always talk about as being the end of karma around the world, is to just be uncovered or discovered, naked in the cradle, the jujube tree ship, or the lollipop ship, which is actually a plane of existence, to the castle on a cloud, and the rocket to get there, the arrows all pointing up from the castle, illuminated by the purple moon at 1:17, again the 17 coming up here, and the 1 of the magician and magic. The 0 point field, a message of higher realms and magic. See the good ship lollipop in the cosmos, mirroring your existence. And again, now they're talking about the ship of the Confederation that's up by Jupiter right now. As you all raised your vibrations, we drew in a ship of sensations. And this is a very high vibrational ship. Again, the 20 of karma and judgment, with 12 faces of the pentagon, but 20 faces of equilateral triangles, 2. 60 degrees by 3. The triangles of swords of peace and crystal light, the pentagons of pentacles in moderation, holding down the fort and being practical, grounding and integrating. The 72 by 2 arithmetic a rhythm of how to split 5 in half. So then the pentagon was coming up, but I hadn't worked out what the message was regarding the degrees of the pentagon. But if you cut the pentagon in half, it literally becomes the 2 slanted cups, or 2 kites upside down, perhaps both held together by their strings with a cord. Remember the 2 cups with the string between them, you know, the invention of the phone. It's like those 2 cups sitting back to back, like I always talk about, the twins sitting back to back to allow their spines and their chakra systems to resonate with each other before starting a conversation. So this is what was coming up as cutting the pentagon in half, is the 2 twins sitting back to back with a cord down the center, sitting back to back on a ship sailing, or freedom in 2, and 2 kites, or the Holy Grail cups, tied with a cord or string. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dogs bite and the bees sting, when you're feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. And I'm getting chills now, and I was getting major chills when I wrote it down as well. So then the sun and love was coming up here. The sun shining you, being love shining on you, like the song by The Who, Love Shine on Me. But instead of love rain on me, it was coming up as love shine on me, to uncover, to discover the rain and transform the unknown dark with light, turning conflict into the pursuit of happiness. The new dawn of high vibration of the 10 of October, the high vibe trill, or the thrill of being past the halfway point. Welcome back, back to back. How do you make your lighting better? What do? You place 2 lights on either side of your face as opposed to in front of you or over you. You put the lights on either side of your faces to take away the shadows. 2 suns in a face-off here in the electromagnetic grid of the twin flames untying the karmic knots. Know your T's and your S's as opposed to minding your P's and Q's. The crystal ship lollipop is acting like a second sun. For extra energy, go out and run with the big birds and see the shadow of the big bird. That's you, the way the birds see you. See the shadow on the beach. Being one with the birds. Hermit action is needed here. The hermit's number 9 plus 9, 2 hermits in the 10 of October equals 28. The hermit, and October, destined 28, which is the twin flames. 9, 10 begin again and again, as the 9 is the end, and the 10 is then transition into the new cycle, becoming the new beginning. At 2 o'clock on the nose, with double zeros backing up the 2 of the feminine and the high priestess, the higher self. The number 2 plus the 8 is the 10. 3 plus 7 is the 10, that high vibration. 4 plus 6 is the 10, and 5 plus 5. Remember, we start with 1. 01 is the 10 reversed, magic, and then the sun, which gives us life, of 19. The 1 and 9 equals 10. And then we go through the cycle of 28, 37, 46, and 55, all new. The twin flames of 28, the 37 of King of Cups and unconditional love, the 46 of the 2 children loving each other with pure hearts, and then in the truth of the 55 of Excalibur, and all lead back to doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, my name, I call myself, far a longer way to run, so a needle pulling thread, la, a note to follow, so, tea, a drink with jam and bread, which is also music to jam with the group bread, that will bring us back to do, 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 do. So you notice how there's 4 do's there, 4 parts, just like the Om, A, U, M, and then space. The rocket ship, or TP, is the cradle for the ship, or the Holy Grail. The mountains and rivers of the M, to rise above and transcend, and space, the final frontier. At 2:06. And by the way, Madonna, I told you the other day, adds up to 26 and 62, which was really cool for me because my numerology is, my soul number is 3811, which is a 2, and then my outer personality number is 42-6, which is that 2-6 again. And I am very much of a mother's personality. So the mountains and rivers to rise above, transcend and space the final frontier, with two hermits destined to high vibe Earth or Gaia, the collective awakening to heaven on earth, the creation of expansion in your life. 60 degrees, remember the equilateral triangle is 60 degrees in each corner times 6 becomes that 360 degrees all the way around. The flower of life in the degrees of 6, the golden mean on earth, but it's number 9 in space. The 3 that looks like the 1/2 of the torus, right? So the 3 looking like this, okay? So it's like an arc with a line in the middle. And so this is coming up as, because we just talked about 6 and 9, and now the 3 comes into play, because we're always talking about the Trinity. But the 3 is also the rolling stone. It becomes the W, and then the E, and then the M. The rolling stone of creation, 3WEM, which is 3W is three-way, and EM is Imana, the Pleiadian feminine god. 3 and 2 U's. Right, so three-way is W, 2 U's, or the 3W is the 3, 2 U's, which is 3 times 2 of 6, or 3 sets of twins, or toruses, or toroidal fields, because they come in sets of 2, right, the 2 circles. The push and pull plus the 1 of Imana, the Pleiadian she-god, which is also man with E and A on either side of it. A man inside the EA, or the AE, which is the ash, or the M, Imana, and Anna, which, by the way, has very significant meaning here. Anna is like direction upward, but along the additional axis added by the 4th dimension. Anna also means wealth, good weather, to rush in. Me, tree, mother, cave, child, and grandmother as well. In medicine, it means equality or equal quantities. To be, we, and me, a guest, and down and below, onwards, to believe and see, to discern, ancestor, forefather, which is before the father, the in-laws, the den, hold of ship, to live and dwell, his, her, main, fundamental, and yesterday, the EA, which is a doublet of aqua, the river, and the ash, the bright light, the sovereignty, rule, the breath, air, gas, and life force, to rise and smell, but also evil and bad and ashamed and shy in that. She, her, yes, and the now moment, ever and any time. The collective awakening with Mother Earth, the 46 of the children in their authentic selves. Remember, it's leaving space for the 5, which is change between. The children's authentic self. Who are you? You are me. You are ME, which is Irma, the imprint, the footprint, the sign that you are. The wake-up call to alignment, and this was at 2:33. Again, the 2 of the High Priestess and the 33 of the Christ Unity Consciousness. And at that moment, I got a scam call from Adams, New York, which is Adam and Eve, and then New York is capital N, which is the Christ vibration for me, and the Y is the Y in the road, it's the 0 point field, the top of the pyramid, where all roads lead home. So the wake-up call at 2:33 to alignment, the clarion call, and in the pictures of the cards was the shell and the wings, or in other words, the shell of the sh and the L, which is the quiet space between, and the wings, which is the 2 U's in GS, or half anointing each other. Adam and Christ at the Y in the road, where all roads lead home to 0 point, in the shell. The High Priestess and Christ in Adams, New York, or a dam near 0 point. Calling Mother, Madonna, which also means my wife, but also it means husband and wife. To have and to hold and present in blue, the doublet of aqua, the rose gold heart, the blooming onion, on connection, which is onion, on ION, which is on connection, on time, on the number 9, which is number 6 down here, the doublet of aqua, the love rose, and then grieving in the sunset, where you reflect the Knight of Wands and that love for life in upwards fashion, in rising above. And then the Om came in, and the void of A-U-M, and then space. Om, and then space. And the void, which is V-O-I-D. V is the creation of the O, which is the human, and the ID, or interdimensionally, a signature, imprint, a sign. Pausing and going within when the King of Wands needs balance in duality, when the 8 ball hasn't been numbered yet. It's only black and white, right? Hasn't been filled in yet. Mother Earth, so what is your new name, right? The Mother Earth in 18, or purple moon cubits, crystal cubes, or icy support, frozen in time, with space to abort the space mission. If one should go wrong, like Fonzie would say, and get into their ego trip. Cold preserves, hot burns, so go to your cube to learn your lesson. Birds sign with love as the 10 of Cups to the Queen of Cups, light body, going with the flow, 1-to-1, and there's my message from my bird saying thank you this morning. In a whispering bench with the mushroom. So don't forget to go to the mushroom with the whispering bench, which is the letter C. And the mushroom, remember, is the MU, which is Lemuria, and then the shroom, which is the library, like the Akash, aka shroom. So you're going to your special Akashic room just for the 2 of you, where you can be mushy. To see and mushroom, aka shroom, for wise eval and review. As above, so below, have compassion for each other, and reach out and touch someone at 248, the High Priestess and the 8 of Cups walking away and within. Self-love, spiritual love, and new love. There are family circles here in the sun, perhaps getting exposed here, in getting your wish of happiness, collapsing wounds of the family tree, as the Knight of Swords is key to freedom, to the Golden Gate, or an invitation to climb those 8 golden steps, which comes up as 33 on the Golden Gate, and the number 8 is 338, and that brings up the Christ vibration of Christ, and then the 38 of the Queen of Cups, which is the Mary Magdalene energy, answering the call to leap that way. With 2 pillars, 2 wings, 2 flames, and a dance, the Page of Cups evolution in birthing the new, the Son of Fire and Dragon's strength, feeding the one, the pyramid, right? What Pyra is, pyromaniac, has to do with fire, and of course mid is staying closer to the middle with the heat, right? Because you get burned if there's too much heat. And the kite also came up here with the pyramid, right? Because when you see a pyramid at an angle, it looks like a kite. To the heart, she feeds the womb, he feeds her heart. The Divine Feminine High Priestess, time out needed, in the purple moon of number 2 of the Divine Feminine, with periwinkle and the orange for connection, which is number 24 in the Queen of Wands. So again, the periwinkle was coming up at 255, which is the High Priestess and the Truth of 55. And this card was coming up regarding periwinkle and orange for connection, to remember to stretch and lunge, and attunement here, connection and attunement. And the periwinkle again comes up as the supernatural being or pearl of 2 U's in the key. And the orangutan, which is the forest man or the vegetarian man, or without or outsider, but yet creative with wood. The periwinkle orangutan, or the P.O. box. Was there a mail delivery or a male delivery here that's coming your way? So that was interesting the way that came up. All right, so that was that read. And then I have the message of the day, which I just did. Oh, I think I showed you the wrong picture. Sorry about that. I was deleting some other pictures so they wouldn't be in the way when I showed them to you. So this is actually I don't think I showed you this one. I think I showed you the one from yesterday. But this is the one from today. This was the underlying energy, which is Archangel Sandalphon. Started here and went across like this to these cards here, then these cards down, and this is where I showed you that so many cards came out today for me to read to you, and that's what came out in the read. So now we have this is the message of the day. Okay, and those 4 decks are the Animal Spirit deck, the LENORMAND Reverie, the Gilded, and the KIPPER deck. So this one was done at 4:16 today. And the underlying energy, 4 and 16, is the Emperor in the Tower. So perhaps sudden events or epiphanies. That can be sexual exchange as well. The underlying energy is the Bat, the Well, the 10 of Wands upright, which is the Atlas card, and the Coffin. The Bat lost in space, diving deep, for love burdened by Atlas, or under watchful eye or pressure to perform. A race to the death, or Death Race 2000, being worked to death. With Phoenix rising, perhaps curious otter was looking at Phoenix, and elephant with flame in trunk, or is on their scent. With broken tooth, or off they went, clearing with each step, the elephant never forgets, but always comes out of the dark. Perhaps tagged or being watched, for having big ears, with dolphin happy and friendly and compassionate, with the Bat lost in space, or spaced out. Far from earth, or very ungrounded, home with family tree expanding and ascending through the labyrinth, each in their own way, figuring out how to come together in the center with Milady. The sunshine, vacation, groups, sports, games, conflicts, and pursuits, showing the Page of Cups, multiple faces of vulnerability and self-love, clearinghouse, and deep emotional waters. The Queen of Pentacles, perhaps a Taurus, or Queen of Pentacles committed to keeping the truth to herself, choosing not to see the truth of the Queen of Swords reversed and the Magician, or Gemini, Virgo, surrendering or getting the King of Swords reversed to surrender, to haul some ass or carry the burden even longer than they were supposed to. The Big House, or a Big House, or Judgment, and the Magician main male and wealthy man in transition, with the Hierophant, mature man, looking at the world of toil and labor of the Queen of Cups rather. And at 4:30, which is the Emperor and the Union, or the home, there's either 3 men here, or just one main wealthy, mature, worldly man, or 2 to 3 generations, and the Queen of Cups working hard to expose death, endings, a service, or cold case files, or to close a case for good, put it to rest, or 3 men and a baby, and it's been coming up a couple times this week. Keeping them wrapped around, right, the little baby, keeping them wrapped around their little finger. And that could be the baby of the family too, is not a baby at all, and they need to stop allowing them to keep them wrapped around their little finger. The first section is the unicorn and the vulture, the new and the old, the galactic and the human, the unicorn etheric gateholder, sudden star, or with an epiphany about good news, success, reputation, or leading the way on the journey through despair, or the pair. The vulture or old eagle, the hermit with flowers or gifts, and the Page of Wands inspired to send or open a message as the vehicle of infiltration. With good news for the Page of Wands, and we have Scorpio, Virgo, Cancer, and Fire here. The second section is the lion and the firefly, the power and the light, or energy company. The lion with one-to-one direction towards fireflies, light, or ideas, as lovers with the hermit, or hermiting new changes, and the firefly with the snake in the garden of poison apples, letting go to repair, or laying all their cards on the table for the Knight of Cups community, with lovers upright, letting go of control, and perhaps the firefly is glowing from the vax, or Luciferin was put in a new vax or something. I don't watch the news, so I don't know if this has come up, but it was coming up here, as some people might start glowing because I don't know if one of the brands has the Luciferin, which comes from fireflies, and it makes you glow, literally. But I don't know if people were told about that. So this could be something coming up and released to the community as a glow up. But are they aware? with Leo, Cancer, Gemini, and Virgo here. The third section here is the spider and the hyena in the web and slithering away. And Wednesday could be coming up there as well. Shadow bear, suffering in silence, or perhaps that's a sister who likes to control you, on high vibe journey, or mother who won't let them go to the concert. The hyena with wise counsel about the world, or perhaps is wise to the world. Divine feminine Pisces and King of Wands at court, or filing papers. Or suffering in silence with the world coming in at them or forcing their views upon them. And again, this could be a kid who wants to go to a concert and their parents won't let them. And this was at 4:44. The lion in their den with epiphanies, the spider in their web with guilt. Codependencies with controlling mother wanting to tell two wise old owls what to do or how to do it. Nightmares with the walls closing in as the journey gets closer or actually arrives, with Capricorn, Pisces, and the King of Wands here. The fourth section is the dragon, the fox, the beaver, and the turtle. The eye of the fox, look deep into my eyes, and the beaver unsure about that. The turtle is saying to go on without them, and the drag on free from the cage, in a heated debate or exchange, with an official fool or as the official person on the fool's journey, or someone in uniform, or perhaps the post office coming up here today. The fox on the fool's journey with choice of doors to get to the Two of Cups, intense connection with loving mature woman. The beaver's hard-working power lady with hair all done up, present at work at night, an older man with concerns. Or lady is home looking out and waiting to start something up, with loving lady when she shows up, or someone she's waiting for who is late. Or a woman concerned about her man working late with another woman at the office perhaps, or someone who's, or maybe suspecting another woman, or just there's another woman at work with him. Or the beaver wants to go to work and perhaps to check in on things, and the older man who's there may be concerned that they might just do that. While the turtle is slow, the loving lady who's already taken down the field with nothing to ground into at the Atlas ship, telling her to go in without them. Concerns about running a tight ship, or into the ground, or scared that the good ship Lollipop is looking for a good place to land. The journey of lovers of unity consciousness with the weight of the world on their shoulders, in a heated exchange with the Two of Cups at work, and victorious, but looking for trouble and ungrounded, or their insight is ungrounded because there's no need here for a fight. The fifth section here is the bear, the panther, and the black egg. The bear's coming out of hibernation for public meet or to go to the park, for a judgment, decision, announcement with the high priestess or Pisces, or to hike on the wounded warrior's path. Be careful, someone here could actually run into a bear. The panther's lurking, too, snarling at the Knight of Wands, commitment or ring, feeling trapped with no way out of these chains of the Emperor's courtship, home, or marriage. The bear in the light, the panther's in the dark, with glowing eyes actually, and the truth of the black egg and the purple moon. The throat chakra of the twin flame male, with the last rose in hand, and the Queen of Wands reversed, and the King of Cups leaving with nothing, feeling like a child running away from home. Having a discussion about the truth, a public commitment or decision that's announced to loving man, with Pisces upright and Capricorn upright, and the Queen of Wands reversed, or High Priestess Pisces, or Wounded Warrior's path, with lots of transformation yet to come. The Capricorn's committed to courtship or struggling to get out of parents' clutches, and the Queen of Wands reversed did not get the rose. Perhaps mother and kids who kicked their partner out. Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind. And that was at 5:50, which is the Hierophant and the Ten of Cups family. And is that the happy family, or is that the sham family, who looks good on the outside but isn't actually on the inside? So we go back now to the read on the table. And here's this read here. So this is the basic read from the SIRIAN Starseed deck that's on the table. Okay. And then we have the full 7-deck read here. Okay, so this was cut at 7:59 last night. The 7 of the Chariot, the 59 of the 5 of Swords, which is that war within that becomes the war without. It's also conflict, the bully, that kind of energy. But the Chariot, and that's when the Sirian Starseed deck was cut. At 8:08, just the Y came up, which is the Y in the road, the 0 point, where all roads lead home. And I finished clarifying at 8:20, which is the 8, again, of the Strength card of manifesting dreams, and the dance between the masculine and feminine, and the 20 came up here again of the Judgment card or karma. And remember that 8:08 is the crazy eights dancing with space between them, with the 0 there at the Y in the road, at 0 point field. So the major arcana here were Transition, which is the Death card, Higher Self, and Alchemy, which is the Temperance card. Before the read, the Hanging Man came up, and after the read, Karma, which is the Judgment card, and Reason is the Emperor came up. Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. So again here we have a queen and 2 children, that just like what just came up in the message of the day. And also the King of Wands came up before the read, and 9 of Wands and Page of Swords came up after the read. 3 Pentacles, 3 Swords, 1 Cup, and 1 Wand. So mostly Pentacles and Swords, which is usually work and in your head too much, or intellectualizing and working overtime. And 33, of course, is the Christ vibration and standing up for yourself, the 7 of Wands, and the 11 of alignment and justice, truth and balance. And the main numbers that came up in the numbers were double 1s and double 3s, which again is justice and alignment, and the 33s that we just talked about. We also had the 13 of the Transition Death card, the 12 of the Hanging Man. The 56 was significant here, which is the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing, keeping your energy clear, or pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with something. And then we have the 23 of the King of Wands, the 35 of the 8 of Wands, the energetic exchange there, as well as the Arrows of Love. And we also have number 8 as being significant, and 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, and 89, which is the Phi energy of expanding and contracting, or staying more towards the center and just reflecting. The code line here was all about the number 31. It came from 25 and 6, which is the Knight of Wands and the Lovers. And it's all about love, partnership, synchronicity, and moderation. And they were broken up into love, par, teenership, sync, atronicity. I know that always reminds me of L. Ron Hubbard, so Scientology was definitely coming up here. And then moderation is MO and duration. So the way this came up was the mother alternating currents to the nth degree, and a flash of light or lightning with the H of DNA, which is also the 8 of dancing between the masculine and feminine, where the queen, who's wise and clear, a Knight of Wands with the Page of Cups, lover, seeing themselves as I, God. Also, Cushing's and Addison's disease was coming up here, as well as ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. To make equal to the nth degree to self, or flash of light with the DNA and the arrowhead of woe and emptiness, right? Those arrows of love, they can lead to sorrow. The holy place of offering, the egg of the Page of Cups, who's very vulnerable and shy and, emotionally young. The lover's hiccup, I guess. Love, par, teenership, and I always get Tina Turner there with her hubby. And what's love got to do with it? And then the synchronicity of H. Ron Hubbard as opposed to L. Ron Hubbard. But again, the Scientology city coming up here, and the MO of the duration of someone not being able to get out, right? Something that's for life. The mother with ACTH issues, with Cushing's or Addison's, to self, being silent and wise, in two or asunder, free of the Page of Cups, lover to ignore. Love partnership that's just par for the course, in synchronicity with Scientology perhaps, or in synchronicity with DNA of Ron's city, or Ronic was coming up as to shed, slough, or miscarry. So that could come up as well, and that could be a miscarriage of justice as well. And also thank you with the TY. And so someone was grateful for miscarrying because maybe they were older and they didn't want to be pregnant, or they were young and they didn't want to be pregnant. So there could be someone here grateful that they miscarried. And then we have the the Queen of Pentacles upright, starting out the read. All right, so here, let me clarify the screen for you. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles is the top card here, with the mini cards on top. And down below the Queen of Pentacles is the King of Wands reversed, the Ace of Cups reversed, the Three of Wands reversed, Seven of Cups upright, and then the Hanging Man reversed. So the King of Wands reversed with no offer of love from the past, with synchronicities or options, and awake to this, or with a big ego right now, or awake to the Queen of Pentacles, prisoner of instability, a move, a visit, or an ending of a marriage or home, and standing up for themselves in an awakening to healing and dreaming and dreams come true, with Justice or Libra or Capricorn and Pisces reversed, with Aquarius upright and Libra upright here as well. The Devil incarnate or Capricorn, the Emperor reversed, working to align or with issues at work, with the Queen of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Six of Cups, fond memories, or perhaps children being loving to each other, or soulmates. Perhaps fond memories of synchronicities and options and being free to leap away from the King of Wands whenever they wanted. Perhaps they can't do that anymore. And that was at 9:06, which is the Hermit and the Lovers. And again, that can be like in relationships too, right? When they were both really busy all the time out of the house, they got along great. But as soon as they were stuck home all the time, it wasn't so great anymore because they can't get out whenever they feel like it. Or taking a gamble to be free, the King of Wands reversed, who could be Aries here, with loyal friend who loves them no matter what. Deception of the Queen of Cups reversed, or Cancer recovering from exile, with the Page of Pentacles upright, or a new project, or up really early with kids or a new job, but not happy about it. Engagement comes up here, and beneath it you deserve love for the twins, and the underlying energy. The Queen of Wands is upright, undressing for the King of Pentacles superhero, at the fence or gate, or being directed by female with sweet tweets and scissors, magnets, and coins on the pillar, but no reunion or just bad influences or third-party Page of Cups message of love, and unable to express their emotions, frustrated at being played like a fiddle at 9:14, the Hermit and a higher love, or that Temperance card of being patient. To get him to do, so it's like being played by a fiddle, just to get him to do whatever they want him to do. And this could be a partner at a party who they always kiss up to them when they want something, like they're really nice, and as soon as they don't need anything, they're not very nice anymore. So happy ending here is 93, and then music is 32, the Journey. With the World complete and Pisces open to end the nightmare, with the Knight of Wands upright post-war or virus, with the King of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Cups upright, and laying all their cards on the table, or wanting to make repairs or fix things, or a child making restitution here. Letting go to fix with the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands reversed, who could be pissed off at a kid, and the Page of Pentacles with an invite for the Page of Cups for a happy ending. Perhaps someone feeling left for dead and found by the delivery guy, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed with the Emperor and the Empress both reversed. Perhaps we're too lazy to get up and answer the door, perhaps. And the other one obviously pissed off. Maybe they were trying to get some rest. Satisfied getting their wish, or Magician who's happy on vacation, or Sunshine with increased exposure with the Page of Pentacles and a heated exchange, sharing or settling out and purging with the Two of Cups reversed, break or on disconnect or at a distance from each other, or distance in a marriage, even though they're together, with religion, establishment, or Taurus, and the Knight of Wands reversed falling short, or the player needing to face their fears with the Page of Swords upright and the Page of Wands upright, or perhaps the fear that their children may not like them if they make a certain decision. Or maybe they're heavily guarded from the players. It's coming up like the Knight of Wands is, the Knight of Wands could be separate from the guy, the bodyguard of the kids, or that Knight of Wands could be that one who's very guarded over their either younger siblings or that's their children. The Page of Swords and the Page of Wands, they're both upright. So someone trying to protect their kids or their messages as well from players or addicts or those who don't belong to their religion or club, so to speak. And then we have the recent past of transition, death, ending, and dark night, and keeping to themselves the grief of a soulmate, and holding on to third party without affection, and no options in a marriage, religion, or establishment. or Taurus and Scorpio, or death of a marriage, and happy alone with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and free from the Magician or manifesting, or magic that sets them free. Burdened, Atlas, and the weight of the world, or weight and world, without options in a breakup or without affection, and losing patience, their temper, or the fallen angel, or Gemini reversed and Sag reversed, or grieving alone with the kids. The foundation is the Ace of Swords upright, with the truth just beneath the surface. The Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands reversed, Page is upright, are with the King of Swords upright, but the King of Cups who's reversed. Or the King of Swords is the inspired little brother, and the King of Cups reversed is the failure big brother. And the center energy here being the Five of Swords upright, the frog growing up or stretching into the prince. Seeing synchronicities at 9:33, the Hermit and the Christ unity consciousness. Seeing synchronicities and choices in heaven in their eyes, with the wounded warrior and disconnect or at a distance. And Taurus and Scorpio, or marriage or establishment and dark night getting in their way. With Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, free to roam and manifest as they please, because there's a lot of wealth right there. The challenge being the Page of Cups, loving child, or a message of love, and deception to Libra or Justice, or up before dawn, Libra, Justice, or Cancer reversed and Libra upright, or looking back at a losing battle, dumped, purging, and still offering new life to performer, juggler, or clowning around. The Queen of Pentacles with Hermit shedding light on her, or for her, that could be a Queen of Pentacles Virgo, and being strong, or the Lion Tamer. No more double dating in mountains, or wife swapping, and alternative or S&M sex, where the harsh truth of rehab, hospitalization, and or jail comes up here, and the Ten of Cups reversed unhappy family, or an ending to their unhappiness. Burdened, getting caught with their pants down, or in the weeds or in the woods, and distant bed partner, frustrated, with the Queen of Swords upright speaking to the wounded warrior, and the King of Pentacles about prison time, anxieties, or just feeling imprisoned, or hostage of an unstable home or move, or a visit, or homecoming of the Page of Cups. Perhaps somebody wasn't expecting that. Hiding in the woods with the Queen of Swords upright, making an announcement or a wake-up call, or the Queen of Swords Aquarius, and defenseless to the Emperor reversed, and the truth of the Chariot, a move, travel, or Cancer letting go of control. Hiding from jealous rage, or sudden events, epiphanies, or sexual exchange, in a two-bowl split and a betrayal of the third kind, or third party by fallen angel who drinks or makes potions, or Sagittarius with an attitude. In jail or hiding, losing patience with issues at work, with the Empress reversed walking away from the Knight of Swords reversed, who's lashing out at the liar, cheater, thief running away from being ignored, or sexual abuse exposed, or turned down for passion that's exposed, or the Empress reversed no longer waiting around. Kids stepping up or spreading the word, or going on vacation or traveling to present the truth and or triumph over the field. Soon here for the twins is the Six of Wands reversed, perhaps attention-seeking or bad reputation or failed, and the Knight of Cups offered love to the King of Pentacles in 5D connection, or while on the table, with the Page of Cups upright freaking out or crying all the way home, and grounding and integrating an offer of love and receiving the truth from a guilty party, the Page of Cups. The King of Pentacles on the surface, but perhaps the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups in 5D connect under the radar. Twin flames are seeing themselves as the Page of Cups, with an opportunity to work hard and deal with Atlas or the weight of the world, or too much weight, and the Queen of Wands looking the other way, not telling her true feelings. In a twist of fate or extreme pain and betrayal, the Sovereign's upright working to align, or still has their back. With true love here and wedding, the situation involves marriage, and around the twins or how they're seen is the Two of Pentacles. But the Two of Crystals in this deck is about surrendering to all that is. At 9:54, the Hermit and the Page of Swords are a message, moving to peace under the radar, with the Devil temptation and healing and forgiving. And at 7:01, the Chariot and the Magician. The High Priest, the block here is the High Priestess reversed, a secret passion facing their fears, or more grief and pain and worried about that. Love partnership, synchronicities, moderation, and following your dreams. Even more so, what's most significant here is following your dreams. So again, it's taking that leap of faith. and perhaps a sister, or suffering in silence, trying to end a nightmare. With the High Priestess without the keys, perhaps they already dropped them off, or just maybe they never had the keys. For Fallen Angel or King of Wands reversed, with temper issues, and expecting the Knight of Pentacles to wait on them hand and foot, or be at his service. No going out to eat here, and strong-arming the Boar, with the Empress reversed, holding the Truth over the King of Pentacles' head, while the Knight of Pentacles is kissing the King of Wands reverse's ass. Losing patience with the Wounded Warrior karmic, Judgment or Aquarius, Emperor reversed, and third-party message here at 9:59, which is the Hermit and the 59 of the War Within, or right, the enemy facing your fears and that kind of stuff here, or the 11th hour. So let's just pull a few quick oracle cards. Let's just go with the Animal Spirit deck today. See what comes up. It's 7:02 on the clock. I'm not sure if I'll get any astrological signs done today. Maybe one. It's going to get too late because it takes me an hour. So I have to get up early tomorrow too to take my car in. So I won't be out early tomorrow. But I'll try to get a bunch of astrological reads done tomorrow if I get home in a reasonable time. Okay, so from the Animal Spirit deck. Take a deep breath, you guys. What is our takeaway here? Is the snakes. And this is definitely about the collective awakening, the sealed awakening. And the snake, which definitely came up in the reads yesterday and today. And it's coming up like the vine, right? The vine that, and they didn't use the word cling, but they used the word like taking. It was like yours for the taking. It's grasping. But grasping, suppose, can be like clinging at certain times. So here we have the collective awakening, and there's the entry wound, or the one that, you know, everyone's trying to get a piece of. Right? And that's that 3D energy here. And the ants come marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. So I don't know if this is a fight, an accident, or a star that wants to be seen by all. Well, there's the phoenix rising here. And that could be a rising star here that everyone's trying to get a piece of, right? Trying to make money off of. Or they're all, it's like coming to see baby Jesus, right, in the manger. That can be anything. But it also can be the entry wound there. There's very powerful energy, though, here between the collective awakening here and the phoenix rising. Rising above this. It's like literally rising above all this crowd to just get away. And then we have, there's the Sea Serpent too. There's a lot of snake energy here. But here there's a seal broken here and something gets in. Because someone's crown gets blown wide open here with the cosmic egg. And here we have both sides. This is two different perspectives of the same thing, of the collective awakening. Okay? So seeing both sides, both versions of the same thing, right? It looks sealed here, but from here, it's not. It's a coil, because it's not a circle, okay? So that's kind of reiterating what I just said the other day about the circle isn't really a circle. It's a coil with space between. It's always open. Just like your body, you know, there's always space between every cell in your body. So there's that, the collective awakening to rise above the trauma and realize that there's a break in the seal, but it was only so that the crown would open, and that nothing's ever really sealed anyway, right? Because there's always a space between. The cosmic egg. So we have the crown chakra here, right? That's the serpent coming up over the crown, right? The illumination of 1,000 suns. Oh, because the second sun came up too. Keeping an eye. Could be someone needing a break too. because this is a lot of action right here. But it's definitely coming up around the second sun that was coming up in the read. The Phoenix rising. To break the seal and open the crown. And I was just in Phoenix too, so there's something there. Oh, look, and then we have the golden egg too. So we have the crown chakra and the heart chakra, right? The golden child, the nest egg. And we have the sea serpents, also the sacral chakra. So we have, oh, I forgot, the Phoenix is the root chakra. So there's a lot of chakras coming up here. So this is the collective awakening, right? Trying to find the entry wounds, like a treasure hunt, right? And then we have the root chakra, the sacral chakra, going straight to the crown and back to the heart. And the heart name came up a couple times in my read as well. So from the root and the sacral, getting cracked open here, breaking the seal, right, for an egg, right, because that's the sacral chakra is where the pregnancy occurs. And this could be somebody's tubes, maybe. That, you know, there could be a pregnancy where there's a complication with the umbilical cord. But also could be a whatchamacallit pregnancy, a tubal pregnancy. But it looks like it's fine afterwards, right? There's some issues here with the sacral chakra. Some entangled energy here, but it looks like everything's okay at the end, if that is the situation. The bottom of the deck is the otter, which is that curious little one, and the star, which is this in this deck is a bit superficial, right? The star that wants to be seen, and this could be a child star who's very curious. Okay, here again, that could be a child star here. Collective awakening to the children who are the star of the show, just like the 3 men and a baby that came up there. Let's just go to the journey of love here. The curious little otter. He's so cute. I lost my son on the beach one day. It was my daughter. She was in my son's t-shirt, which is why I remember my son, but his little Mickey Mouse t-shirt she had on, and she was just in her diapers. And it wasn't any amount of time. I just turned around and I couldn't find her because it was a crowded beach. And she had made her, and you're freaking out because you don't know if they're in their water, you don't know what happened to them. And she had wandered across the beach and she was just sitting on someone's towel, socializing with them, and they weren't saying a thing. That's what the otter reminds me of her, wandering across the beach in her diapers with her little Mickey Mouse t-shirt on. Okay, here. She was always very grounded baby. She didn't worry about anything. Okay, you have 2 here. She is the moon. 21 is whole and complete. She is the moon. It's very Shokare kind of energy and 0 point energy there, like putting the power here in your heart. There's some shyness that comes out in this card as well. And then we have the union energy of the towering magnificence here. Completing a cycle for union. And the breaking of him, the King of Pentacles comes up here. There's that crash into each other in the vortex. And then the distant shores here of all of these moons. Like, what am I thinking of? Something of 4 moons, or I feel like it's some kind of blessing or something. The 18 is the purple moon of distant shores, reflecting more and more and more and more, which is the 0 point. And then this last one here is the King of Wands, and across the waters she waits as she sees the light at the end of the tunnel. And then the 24 card came up next, which is the Queen of Wands, but it's also that energy of the end of karma locally, because it's more of a local as opposed to the 81 is end of karma around the world for me. The bottom of the deck is 19, which is Shakti, which is the feminine warrior within. And the sun. So again, a lot about the sun coming up here. And then we have the moon here as well. So the sun and the moon, it's like the sun and the moon coming together and crash into you. What's that song? She is the moon and she is complete and whole, the 21. And then there's union here with towering magnificence where everyone's gathering around. So this is literally this card here of all the ants coming in. This is the gathering to see the unions, right? Wanting to see the phoenix rise. So it's like the bride, see how she's got the sheer, like the veil? It's like the bride, you know, before the wedding day, as everyone gathers around, as the King of Pentacles comes crashing in. That could be crashing someone's wedding as well, but it's coming crashing into the 0 point here, and not in a smooth way. It's a very kind of like violent way you see here, but it's like the feminine is ready to catch him. And catchment was coming in too with the basin and the one who distributes the water and the wine, because wine came up and vine came up. So the distant shores, the resonance of the purple moon of the 0 point, and being present in the now moment, is radiating across the seas as everyone prepares for the unions to come in and crash in the breaking of the purple moons across the sky, hands across the water, heads across the sky, and the purple moon of distant shores as the bride waits for her groom, the King of Wands, across the waters. It's really cool. Okay, let's see what they say here. The first card out was the snake, so I'm going to read you that one. All right, snake, where are you? The guardian of the unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that the Shakti, which also came up at the bottom of the deck here, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? And how could you stir it from slumber? An experienced yogi or yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste, the snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. When in balance, prosperous, creative, and charismatic, and when out of balance, starts and stops many things. To bring back into balance, Kundalini yoga and or meditation there for the snake, for the collective awakening. And then the first card that came out from the Journey of Love was She is the Moon. Okay, the 21 of being whole in the purple moon, which is the now moment. That's number 21, which is also the world. She is the moon. The light of the moon ebbs and flows. The wisdom of patience is not about waiting around for something to happen, rather than getting up and getting it done. The wisdom of patience is that of the gardener who consults the lunar calendar, the right timing promoting growth, planting when there's fertile soil, and allowing the soil to rest and replenish when it needs to. You're being asked to check in with your timing. Is now the time for action or for rest? It can change quickly, just like the phases of the moon. If you're unsure, that's okay too. Perhaps you're waiting for more light to reveal the way as the moon grows full. All things come in time. Your message comes through this oracle. Your manifestation is unfolding in perfect timing. If you feel something isn't happening fast enough or is happening quickly, and you're unsure if you're really ready, be assured all is well. If something is not clear to you, and you would like to make it more so, the clarity you seek will come to you. Do not worry, don't try to force the insight. Just be with what is happening now and trust. You are moving and growing and all is well. Soon you will see that for yourself, just as the moon grows full and revealing, even in the midst of the deepest night. And the poem is titled Waiting. These moments are precious, like jewels on the crown of life. They beckon my heart, forming memories that sparkle with joy, and like the longing of a sweet caress, they draw me near, melting into one, showing what is possible in the journey of life, waiting for the seasons' change. Okay, guys, so as usual, I invite you to drink your water. It's 7:17 on the clock. Drink your water, get your rest, your beauty rest, and get your joy in your nature. Go out and hug a tree if you have snow on the ground. And do your meditation and follow your guidance, look into your inner child and see what's going on. Ask questions to yourself, see what kind of answers that you get. And as always, rise and be love, you guys. Take a deep breath. And again, breathe. I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.